If you're an SME business owner, you might just be facing these struggles.
In this case, it is hard for SMEs to find good and qualified accounting staff. Perhaps having to deal with staff who join and leave or are on maternity leave without support, or maybe the business owner who have no idea how to supervise the accounting staff as they have no clue on accounting background, or perhaps overload with paperwork and lag behind, causing delays and penalties with SSM, tax, or maybe getting in trouble with the custom department or tax office due to hectic paperwork. Lack of instant and live financial dashboard or data about the company in order to make crucial business decisions, resulting SMEs cannot do business planning, cost and cash flow timely, backlog in compiling financial data for audit, tax and compliance purposes. SME might want to sell or grow their own businesses but do not have any idea how to create a nice and valuable business proposal.
The struggles are real, huh? Well, that's why you need Intune. Get Intune to fine-tune your decision.
Intune Outsourcing is providing you a full scope of accounting from A to Z, exactly like an accounting department with a CFO, but not based in your office. Intune enters supplier invoices into accounts payable and do reconciliation with suppliers to make sure that our records are correct. Intune also processes payments to suppliers, staff, and expenses, updating sales invoices into accounts receivable, including collection received, providing statement of accounts to clients so that they can collect and chase money from their customers, providing the financial reports, including but not limited to profit and loss, balance sheets, cash flow, debtors and creditors aging, advisory and financial coaching, including presentation of accounts, highlighting key areas and key analytics to improve and grow clients' businesses. At the year end, we represent our clients to work with their auditors and tax agents for compliance matters. Intune also represent our clients to deal with different bodies and agencies such as Income Tax Office, Customs Department, EPF, SOCSO, and other authorities for matters relating to finance, business, and HR.
So if you're still facing accounting problems, you need a professional like Intune to help you. Well, get Intune to fine-tune your decision.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight. Tonight is going to be our Intune Professional series where we bring in professionals to help you to solve some of your challenges or to give you ideas to bring your business from A to B. Okay, so A bit about me. My name is Alex. I'm the founder, and I'm also one of the partner in charge in Intune Outsourcing, where we provide finance and payroll outsourcing for our SME clients. So you don't need to hire your staff and leave all the back end work to us, so that you can focus on building your business. Tonight we have a very interesting lawyer and a good friend of mine, Eng Keat. He will be sharing about contractual obligation. So without further ado, let me bring in Eng Keat. Hi, Eng Keat.
Hi, Alex. Hi.
Hi.
So, am I on live already?
Yes, you are
Oh,
live, and thank you for joining us tonight. Please,
thanks for the invitation, Alex.
please share to our audience a bit about you.
Yes, sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Eng Keat. I'm actually a lawyer based in Petaling Jaya. I'm very grateful to be invited here and given an opportunity to speak with all of you. Alex, we have not met each other for good 5 years physically.
Yeah, ayo, this
And
lockdown is definitely not helping.
correct. And we only can meet each other through StreamYard now.
Ayo, yeah, lor. What a shame. But at least we still got online meeting. I think if
That's
without
right.
online meeting, all of us will be heavily depressed, man.
Yeah, I'll go crazy, actually, without talking.
Yeah.
Hey, today is a Thursday night.
Yes.
Yeah, are you? I thought Thursday night you were normally not available for your friends.
Well, usually it's not, but given this lockdown, I'm dating my wife every Thursday night already. So every Thursday night is a date night. So we we
Nice,
we
nice,
date, on the bed, on the sofa every night, nowhere to go. Not like last time. We're always
nice,
busy
nice,
working,
nice,
working, working. We got to dedicate
nice.
time to our loved one. Now
Yes,
I think it's a wish come true. Every day you look at your loved one and your family.
correct. Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes. Alex, today, I was invited to speak about these contractual obligations.
Yes, correct,
And
correct.
yes. So,
Let me start by asking, what is contractual obligation? A lot of people, don't really know this word. What is actually contractual obligation?
yep, sure. Okay, contractual obligations are actually duties that contracting parties need to perform in a contract. A contract is a written document that outlines, among others, the business relationship, expectation expected from the contracting parties, and scope of the work between contracting parties. Now, having a well-written contract is very important in a business relationship so that it will minimize any misunderstandings between parties down the road. Just for example, a very example where is applicable to all of us. An example of contractual obligations will be in a sale of products such as a car. All right.
Okay.
So the seller has the obligation to transfer the ownership of the car to the buyer, while the buyer has the obligation to pay for it. So the contract will specify the terms that regulate the obligations, such as the method and amount of payment and the place and time for delivery. So basically, this is contractual obligations. And while there are different types of contract may impose different obligations, the most common one will be payment terms. For instance, when you buy a car or you buy some goods, there will be some payment terms of 90 days or whatnot that will be stated in the contract. You see, so
Mm,
upon the expiry of 90 days, as per stated in the contract, you will be risk, as in the purchaser will be risk to to be in a litigation because that will amount to a breach of contract. All right.
I see.
So
Okay.
as for the seller, there will be a delivery terms. For instance, upon payment of the invoice, the delivery terms will be within 7 working days. Failing which, again, the seller will be exposed to also a risk of being in the litigation suit.
Mm,
However, please note that if the contracts are found to be entered without a free consent, for instance, by way of coercion, undue influence, or there's any misrepresentation, or there's any fraud, then the innocent party can seek for not performing the contractual obligation. So
Mm.
generally, you have to perform a contractual obligation which has been agreed in the contract, unless you can show any of these four instances which I just shared with you just now. Well,
Okay, okay, okay. So next, what are some of the risks, and benefit when SME or business owner understand contractual obligation?
there's actually no risk to understand your contractual obligation. You see, you will only
Okay,
benefit yourself.
okay.
So it is very important actually for parties to understand and perform their respective contractual obligations under the contract. Okay, this is because if either party fail to perform their contractual obligations according to the contract terms, it will result in a breach of contract. So, in
Mm,
which event a party, which means the innocent party, may pursue, among others, sue for damages. Let's
mm,
say you buy goods from company A. Company A did not deliver pursuant to the delivery term, which I mentioned just now. And but at the same time, you already promised a third party to deliver the goods to the third party. Hence, you can sue the seller for failure of delivery and the damages that you incur. For instance, the third party may sue you for non-delivery. So all this you will need to unfortunately need to commence a legal action against the seller to recoup back all these damages. You
mm,
also can file a legal action for a specific performance, which means you go to court and then you pray for the court to actually compel the defaulting party to give you something pursuant to the contract. So put it simply, for instance, buying a house. You see, it's very difficult to actually get a house which you like. So you got a house that you like. The seller suddenly wanted to abort the sales and purchase agreement, and you like the house very much, so you can actually go to the court and ask the court to specifically to compel him to specifically perform the contract, which means to sell the house back to you lah, pursuant to the contract.
I see. I think when I mention risk, I think a lot of business owner that I consult or we support in Intune, they always find contract very mafan. They
Okay.
find it very leceh, and I think that's where sometimes they do the traditional shake hand method. And I think going down the road, like you say, the risk of not understanding the importance of having a contractual obligation may actually result in a bigger price to pay. Maybe they
Correct,
think that
correct.
they may save some legal fee, but I think the headache is much, much more damaging lah. So I
Yeah.
think that's why speaking with you tonight is also a reminder to some of our client and friends or business owner outside there, as sometimes don't take shortcut. Like even for me, I don't take shortcut. I also can get into trouble, and that's how
Yeah,
I met
correct.
you. So I always
You
tell people, if you take shortcut, how can you be in a better place compared to someone who doesn't take shortcut in terms
Yeah.
of mentioning all this?
I believe that you have learned your lesson 5 years ago, when we need to go all
Uh,
the way to court appeal to get your things done.
I think contractual obligation is contractual. Sometimes, no matter what we put in, they will still there is still a risk of defaulting party. Although we
Correct.
learn and we put whatever we can, uh,
Yes, yes. But
well, like
what we can do is we are trying to minimize any
mitigate. Yeah,
possibility of litigation. You see, so that's why
correct.
a good contract is really important.
Yes, correct. Definitely, definitely. Okay, so let's go beyond all this technical stuff. Can you give some real example or some interesting encounter beside our one now? Our one we keep it to us, okay? During your years in contractual obligation, so that our audience or business owner can have a taste of what it actually means, the importance of having contractual obligation that works.
Sure, sure. Okay. I only can. I suppose I need to share something which only relevant to all of you. Okay. So maybe I will just use again the example of a car. It just so happened that I'm involved in this case. So I just thought to share
Okay.
with you regard to a hire and purchase of a car. Okay. So I'm just give you another example. You see. So for example, an individual, we name him as Ali, wanted to buy a car from a BMW. Okay. So to do that, Ali took a loan from the financier. All right. Ali then entered into a hire purchase agreement with the financier.
Mm.
Okay. Upon this is the facts. I just let you know the facts first. Because these are a very it happened a lot of time to my clients, various clients. Upon buying cars, get a loan. Then after that, they enter into a hire purchase agreement to find out that the cars got problem, a technical problem, a mechanical problem, and whatnot on the day when he took the possession of the car. Very unfortunate, right?
Oh dear.
So he took the car for repairs for several times, and even the company who sell the car to him also attempted to resolve the mechanical problems of the car, but were not successful, and the problems persisted. So left with no choice, Ali actually sued the company and the financier for termination of the contract for the sale of the car and also return of the purchase price of the car. So Alex, if I ask you now, okay, you bought a car from a luxury car, no? We just take it as maybe Mercedes or BMW. Took a loan, took possession of the car got problem. You try to repair, but it will continue to persist the problem. If you sue the car dealer, how likely you think you will win against a car dealer?
Looks very simple that the buyer will win because the seller or the dealer obviously didn't provide a car which of reasonable quality.
Yes, but unfortunately, I'm just sharing with you, this is actually a federal court decision, apex court. What happened is that a lot of people like you, Alex, may think that the Ali will have reasonably good chance in winning the case against the dealer because the car which he bought is defective. Okay, so but actually it is not because Ali and the financier enter into a hire purchase agreement. Under this hire purchase agreement, Ali is the hirer of the car, while the financier is actually the owner. What we obtain when we get the car key, we drive the car in possession, was actually a mere possession, not the ownership of the car, which remained with the financier. Hence, unless the loan is fully paid up, the bank remains as the owner of the car. Okay. So, the pursuant to a federal court case, I mean, I can share it with you, but case of Ong Siu Hua, all right, is a 2015 case. Once the federal court held that once the plaintiff has entered into the hire purchase agreement with the financier, any contractual relationship between Ali and the car dealer, your luxury car or your normal car or whatnot, the legal effect of which is that plaintiff has no claim against the car dealer. All right. You follow, Alex?
Yes.
So that's why we wish to highlight that based on the case, based on the case which I just shared with you above, it is important for parties to enter into a contract to understand the terms, of the contract and the respective contractual obligation, so that this kind of thing, which we think is a sure win thing, it is actually not.
Yeah. Looks very simple, but there's a lot of technicality behind all the terms and jargon. And I think a lot of that, even myself, when we buy car, is sign here, initial here, and I doubt anyone would even hire a lawyer like you to run through the agreement.
Yes, correct. And that's why I think this is very relevant to the audience, because a lot of us, we don't, we buy car, we do, of course we don't need to hire a lawyer to buy a car, you see.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this thing happens, you see.
I see. And I think given the challenge that we have now in this COVID or this pandemic, I think a lot of business owners are also sometimes get stuck with a lot of contractual obligation, which they don't know what to do. Like for example, some may have a contractual obligation to renovate a home. Given FMCO, they cannot go in, or even after open, there's a lot of logistic issue. limitation to travel, or there's a lot of roadblock, so resulting in late delivery, or that delivery portion is all haywire. What are some of the avenues that you can advise to some of our business
Audience.
owner who have this challenge?
I see. This is just purely for the period of the COVID-19 period lah. I mean, the starting from the where's the lockdown? 18 March 2020. All right.
Yep.
Yep,
Yep.
yep. Okay. In fact, there is actually the government actually passed these temporary measures for reducing the impact of Coronavirus Disease Act. I will call it
Wow.
as a COVID-19 Act. Okay.
Okay.
Sometime in August 2020. Okay.
Hmm.
So I mean, despite the fact that lockdown was March 2020, they only passed this August 2020. So, but again, though it was passed sometime in August 2020, the bill states that it will have a retrospective effect all the way back to March 2020. All right. So, just to share with you that this COVID Act, Section 7 especially, which I think is one of the most important, in fact, the most important clause in section in this COVID-19 Act, which provides that where a party to a specific contract is unable to perform its contractual obligations due to measures to control the spread of COVID-19, the inability to perform will not permit the innocent parties to the contract to exercise their contractual rights under the contract. If, let's say, these contracts are covered, if this contract a contract which I'm going to mention now. Okay, so this kind of contract which I'm going to mention now, if let's say for whatever reason the defaulting party fail to perform, the innocent party cannot commence a legal action against the defaulting party. Okay, so there are a few categories. The first categories will be a construction work contract. Okay, any contractual contract, if let's say for a reason due to the COVID-19, unable to perform pursuant to the contract, the innocent party cannot take action. Supply contract for construction material, equipment, or workers, performance bond or other equivalent granted pursuant to construction contract, lease or tenancy of a non-residential property, hire purchase agreement, credit sales contract under Consumer Protection Act. So any a dispute, which fall under those kind of example, you can actually what we call that the innocent party, you know, cannot take action against the defaulting party. All right. But I'm unable to share with y'all one specific case because until now there's no reported case where an actual party actually escaped liability due to this COVID-19 Act. Okay, but what I can share with you is that this is a case which I handle a few. Again, the same thing. It's a tenancy dispute. All right, my client is actually a tenant. All right, the landlord sue her for failure to pay the rental. Okay, and normally, if had it not because of this COVID-19 Act, the landlord will be able to get what we call that as a summary judgment. Okay, just a very a general general knowledge for you all. Summary judgment means a mechanism provided by the law that you do not need to go for trial. You can get a judgment pursuant to affidavit only. All right. So had it not because of this COVID-19 Act, usually the court will grant a summary judgment in such circumstances because there's no disputed facts. The fact is that I rent you this property. You're supposed to pay me a rent of X amount every month. You fail to pay, now you need to pay me back the money. Okay, I've done at least two this nature of case. The court did not grant them a summary judgment due to this COVID-19 Act. All right. So now both the cases will be going for trial. Okay. So if any any of the audience which face a problem under this category, they can try to explore this Section 7 of the COVID-19 Act.
Okay. Interesting. Interesting.
And also there's a saving provision in this COVID-19 Act lah. Okay, so Section 10 right provides that if let's say uh, any contract terminated or any deposit forfeited, which means for example, if let's say there's any legal proceeding commenced before 18th of March, all right. So if let's say you commence after, because you cannot commence after 18th of March, but if let's say already commenced before 18th of March, the legal proceeding will still consider as you can still proceed with the legal proceeding. So that is the saving provision, which means
Okay.
any act which conducted before 18th of March, it will still consider as valid.
Okay. Okay. So to some of our listener out there or business owner, if you are struggling from COVID-19, which you have a valid case and for whatever reason you are unable to fulfill some of your contractual obligation, there is COVID-19 Act that you can refer to. And if you are unsure, please seek professional counsel, someone like Eng Keat from GLT. They can help you to look into it and see how they can bridge through this challenging period. This challenging period for you. So, okay, one last
Yes,
question.
I
What
have
are
I took some comments from this audience.
Derek?
What do we answer later or do we
Can
answer
you
now?
can answer? You can answer later. You can answer now. We have some time. We can do it spontaneous. You since we are there. Is there any you want to give him a quick
Okay, let me
pointer?
look through the comments box. There are a lot of comments. Okay, I mean, since Derek, he has been okay. Derek asked that what can I do if my client is not paying or deferring their payment for equipment rental? Some clients can't even pay RM99 per month. Is there anything I can do? Okay, well, Derek, for 99 ringgit, some clients can't pay even 99 ringgit per month. Okay, so for 99 ringgit, Derek, maybe what we can advise you is that you can start off with sending a letter of demand first to them to show that you are sincere, or rather you are really going after them for not paying the service that you provided. Okay, and after that, in order for purely for financial wise, you can actually consider going after them through a small court procedure. Okay, a small court procedure is for any claim which 5,000 and below. Okay, but I'm not sure whether you are a individual or you're a company. A small claim procedure is only applicable for individual. If let's say you're a company, a small claim procedure is not applicable. So I hope it answers your questions.
Yeah, so Derek, if you need any further information, please look for GLT directly. I will, yeah, the number is there and their website is there. So, yeah, so if you get any advice or anything from this live feed, because of the time is so short, we may not have all the full information. So we always request our audience to actually look for the proper seek the proper legal counsel with full information so that the advice will be more holistic in that sense. Okay, so let's go to the last question. Wow, so fast, 9:25 already. So, what are some of the key area that to look into when business owner or people enter into a contractual obligation? What are some of the key area that they need
Yep,
to focus
yep.
on?
Yeah. Okay. Again, maybe I will just limit it to time like this now, lah. Okay. So it's because it's really time like this that people having a lot of problem. So you see, at time like this, right? These two clauses is really, I would say, that's the most popular clauses now. You see, the first clause will be is a time is of essence clause, right? So a time is of essence clause serves to define the period of time wherein the parties must perform their duties, such as delivering goods or paying for services. Okay, so a time is of essence clause can be included in any contract where the completion of the duty is dependent on time or the occurrence of some event or condition. So a time of essence clause is very important because it will show that if let's say a construction project you need to complete by when, otherwise you will be exposed to liquidated agreed damages and whatnot. So and it's very popular now because in view of MCO, the time will definitely, these people cannot work within the month.
Too many uncertainty and too many variable. And yeah.
That's correct. So, and that's why the court is put to interpret this clause, time is of essence clause, very often for now. All right. Secondly, the second or rather equally popular clause will be a force majeure clause. Okay, a force majeure clause refers to a clauses which relieve a party from performance of its contractual obligation where that performance is impacted by events beyond the defaulting party control. For instance, COVID-19. You see, so a lot of people, when I mean 2020 is the COVID, 2019, everybody who entered the contract, they wouldn't know that COVID-19 will come 2020, December 2019. Nobody actually cater this COVID-19 into their contract. All right. So they are actually, that's why there are a lot of cases which actually interpret whether the COVID-19 will come under the force majeure clause or not. All right. So that's why this clause is also very popular at times like this. So depending on the drafting of the clause, which pre COVID-19, probably a lot of people will not insert COVID-19 as part of the force majeure clause, but now they will definitely will, because really it's beyond their control. I mean, the government just locked down. In fact, the world just locked down and they are unable to perform their contract. Okay. So again, depending on the drafting of the clause, such clauses may have a variety of consequences, including excusing the affected party from performing the contract in whole or in part. Okay, excusing that party from delay in performance. Some force majeure clause will actually excuse you from, let's say you need to complete within 2 years. Now, because of this thing, you can complete within 3 years, or entitling them to suspend or claim an extension of time for performance. Or to the most extreme one will be giving the right to terminate the agreement as a whole.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think this is a very important clause. Even my other business renovation, we actually put this as a standard clause and we discuss with the client. Because although a lot of people think it's just a small lockdown, the logistic that impact the whole thing in terms of remobilization, sometimes it's not so simple. It's not just, okay, we lock down 2 weeks, you extend by 2 weeks. Sometimes the impact can be as high as 4 weeks. Because I remember from the first lockdown, even our workers, because they cannot cari makan, right, they run away lah. So by the time we reopen, we cannot find the workers.
I see.
And then suddenly all the contract, and then we don't have this clause, so we have to go and
Correct.
sit down and negotiate for extension of time, remobilization, and all these things. So it can be very scary. So so business owner, please protect yourself, especially in time where it's so uncertain. Look at this force majeure clause, and if you can put in, part or whatever, so at least when you agree upfront and you put it in contract, it provides for the worst case, and we know how to deal with each other if it happened again. So FMCO is second time, and I think this may not be the last time. So business owner, don't be too optimistic. It's good to be realistic that COVID-19 is here to stay. This act will continue to play an important role into our day-to-day life. Okay, so if there's any question on the floor, please post your question. It's question time now. So meanwhile, I'll let Eng Keat tell us a bit more about GLT, what it actually does, and how is what is your unique selling point, and how do people look for you guys?
Okay. We are actually a full service law firm, and we handle a broad of range of legal works, including dispute resolution, corporate and commercial, and conveyancing. Our clients range from startup all the way to international companies and private listed companies. And Alex, thank you very much for sharing our website there. Yes, we have a website for you all to have a look, and then we are ever ready to assist any of you who needs our assistance.
Okay, and you are based in Jaya One, right?
That's correct.
So that will be, I'll also put his number down there. So if you need to look for GLT, they are based in Jaya One, and their number there is 7621 4447, and you can also search for them at their website. So with that, that would be our 30 minutes for our SME. Thank you, Eng Keat, for your time and
Thank you very much.
for your sharing. And I think it provides a lot of a window of consideration for business owner, even for me myself. Sometimes even for us to deliver account, this lockdown, right? We suddenly like everything is haywire, payment, all our processes go haywire.
Correct.
Knowing our government 48-hour notice is always a very stretchy situation. I mean, we were lucky that we are online, but I think for those, that I heard some of you to go to court online, I think it's very, very stretchy. It's very, very stretchy. It's crazy.
You mean those people who needs to go to court through online?
No, I'm like some of your sharing. I think going forward with all this, a lot of business. Intune, we already went online. We are probably the first accounting firm that went online. So all our systems are already online. So we are not severely impacted by the lockdown. However, the processes will take longer, the closing of the account and the usual
The problem
stuff.
with me is, I believe because I'm a litigator, you see. So as you know, because we went to court together before, the documents are crazy. I mean, it come in boxes, you see. So I think the case that I was representing you easily about 9 boxes of papers. So I mean, it's really, I mean, of course we have to get used to going through online, this kind of thing. But when we want to refer documents, it is, I I need to learn, but somehow I'm still not there yet. Going fully digitalized, to go through soft copy and whatnot. It would really actually affect my flow of
Correct.
submitting, and kind of thing like that. So yeah, but we have to learn, no choice.
Yeah, and you probably need 3 or 4 screen in front of you, big
Yes.
screen. One to look at document bundle, one to look at the judge, one to look at the witness stand. It can be very daunting and
And
really
also
challenging.
we have this issue where for now we have this issue where, you see, let's say you are a witness, I need to cross-examine you, you kena before. And there could be a possibility that because I cannot see your surrounding, and you are not
Yeah.
God, so there are a lot of circumstances behind where you could be assisted by someone else and whatnot. Your lawyer, I mean, I don't want to say that, people will give you notes, that kind of thing, which is not allowed in court. So I don't know, we have to adapt, and then we will take it from there, I think.
Yeah, I think so. It's also very challenging. So I can understand the challenge that you are facing through.
Yep.
But anyway, thank you for your time, and I
Thank you very
hope
much, Alex.
our business owner will have a good. And if you need any further question, please look for Eng Keat. I think he's going to be happy to give you some advice over the phone, and from there take it on professionally. Okay. With that, I'm going to end this with an outgoing video, and I catch you in the second series. Thank you, Eng Keat. My name is Alex Wong. I graduated from Melbourne Uni in Australia, and I specialize in accounting and finance. I got my chartered practicing accounting in year 2002. In Intune, I run the business development segment. I'm also a certified partner accounting running with my wife. My wife is actually the other partner that runs the firm.
My name is Lily Yong. I graduated with a corporate finance degree from University of Adelaide, Australia. My first job is with Ernst & Young, an accounting firm, for 5 years. Then I moved on to manage an internal audit department for an Australian listed company. I'm a member of Certified Practicing Accountant Australia and also a member of Malaysian Institute of Accountants. So in Intune, I am the managing partner. I take care of the sales, business development, and also overseeing the operations at Intune. So I've been a practicing accountant for the last 20 over years.
The company was started long time ago when I was still with KPMG. So during that time, I got a lot of friends who are having complication and stress when they run business. And most of their challenge is they cannot hire an accountant. So as a result, they always only hire maybe a clerk or an exec. A lot of time they have a lot of issues with their finance, payment, sometimes the money get lost, sometimes the accounts don't close in time, payment is not done in time. So that time when they wanted to hire me, then I was thinking, how are they going to pay me? Like if they were to hire me and I charge them 10,000 for SME, how can they afford me? So I went back and I think, and then one day I got this idea. This idea just popped up. If 5 of them combine, each one maybe pay me 3,000 a month, then I can serve 5 of them at one shot. I become like the HQ accountant to 5 of them. Then I can assemble a team to actually support them, and that's how Intune was formed. In terms of the company, our team structure is divided into sales and operation. So the sales is very simple. We serve our client by understanding their need, and then we provide them the solution. In terms of the operation, is divided into 2 segments currently. We have the finance, which take care of the day-to-day accounting for our client, from payment to preparing the financial statement. Another team that we have is doing the HR and payroll service to ensure that the day-to-day of the salary and remuneration, including compliance, are taken care of. As an accountant, as a service provider, we need to be able to sync along, tune into the processes of our client and customize. For example, maybe a manufacturing client would be very different from a trading client. So Intune means as a provider, we are tuning into their needs and requirements.
The vision of Intune is to be the leading finance and human resource outsourcing provider in Malaysia. In this vision, we want to create financially driven entrepreneurs and businesses who runs their business based on numbers, analytics in driving their business to their goals. The mission of Intune is to support every small medium enterprises becoming large by being their strong finance and HR pillars for their businesses. This means that we are providing them a team of knowledgeable professionals with strong processes and workflow to support them in their growth journey becoming large. There are 3 main types of services being provided at Intune. Number 1 is the finance, number 2 is the human resource, and number 3 is the consultancy. So in terms of finance, so what we do is that we do the everyday accounting and finance functions for our small medium enterprises clients, like preparing payments, even issuing invoice, official receipts, reconciling their sales collection on an everyday basis, up to giving them a financial dashboards and accounts every month, up to on a half-yearly basis to sit with them and review their financial dashboards, and at the end of the year to take care of their audit and taxes on their behalf. That's on the finance side. So the second type of service that we provide for our client is human resource related, which means we take care of their payroll. We make sure that the payrolls are calculated correctly, accurately, on time, and in compliance with all labor laws, EPF, SOCSO, etc. And then taking care of the leave for their staff and making sure that at year end, all the forms, all the compliance matters with Income Tax Office is complied with. So in terms of HR, we also assist our clients to issue HR related letters, like when a new staff come on board, to give them the employment letter, when they confirm, and if there's any increase in salary, bonus, we help them out with all those paperwork.
The third segment that we have is the consultancy.